I think you might have to fire everybody.
You are Locked On Big 12, your daily podcast on the Big 12 Conference. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What the hell was that? 23-17, Arizona just beat Kansas State. Here's the craziest part, man, is like Chris Klieman hires Matt Wells as the offensive coordinator. You understand that there are other people who exist in the world not named Matt Wells that can be your OC? I tweeted this. I want to go back to it. There should be some sort of back pay to Avery Johnson for ruining his draft stock. Taking a guy who would have made millions as a first-round draft pick, been the greatest quarterback in Kansas State history, and you are pissing him away. Your season's over. You're done. You're 1-3. That's it. He had 88 passes. He had 13 for 29. And Arizona is just not a very good college football team. Like, I'm sorry that that's the focal point here. They were bad last season. And you know what I saw today? Bad again. Holding. They just got another flag for holding. The game's been over for 10 minutes. Look at this. Look at the penalties. 7 for 56 yards. False start. Holding. Whatever the hell. They couldn't do football. They couldn't do football most of this game. Undisciplined. I thought the coaching was mostly poor. I thought that there was certainly lack of discipline when it comes to the penalties. And to somehow be worse than that. To somehow one-up that. As arguably the most talented roster in the Big 12. The most talented 1-3 team in America. You told me you had 24 rushing attempts for 105 yards. Arizona ran the ball for 234 yards in this game. The Mahdi kid, intensely good. I could have told you he's going to run the ball. Yet still it felt like Kansas State decided, you know what, that's fine. Ishmael Mahdi, 22 carries, 189 yards, along of 60. Then you get back in this game. Then it's 17 all. And you allow 250. Arizona could have, it didn't, and they kept giving you the game. They kept being like, I don't know, man. You want us to muff this punt? Fine, here's the ball. Or, you know what? Let's just miss a field goal that will put the game away and end things right here. Make this easy. We'll all go home. You had it in your hand. Somebody tweeted this, I think last week. It may have been Emaw Caleb. Everybody a Wildcat. He was not happy tonight, by the way. And he said something along the lines of, there's just no fight. No one cares. Noah Fafita, 16 for 33, 178 yards. That's not good. That's not good. Arizona was one-dimensional. They were just going to run the football. And it's like Kansas State somehow had no idea. And then when it mattered, when you can go win the game, I would like to know if Avery Johnson cares. I hope he does. Remember when his dad and his brother got in that fight after the game in Ireland? I would hope he cares. But what I'm watching on the field is not that. I'm not watching a kid who like, you know, yeah, that last drive, he's just like, let me just, 117 miles an hour off the hands of Jace Brown because I'm going to overthrow it by a little bit. And I don't want to blame him. Matt Wells is bad, man. Matt Wells has never been good. He's made a career out of being fired now. And he's going to be fired again. You can't... Listen to this. At one point in the game, total yards for Arizona, 141. Total yards for Kansas State, -4. St. Bill Snyder, the burrito butt guy. Halftime, 257 yards for the Cats in red and blue. For the Purple Cats, Power Cats, 44 total yards, 15 passing yards, 1.8 yards per play, 4 first downs, 1 for 7 on 3rd and 4th down. 24 total plays. You know who was good? The punter. Damn good. And this should be a segment about Arizona being improved. But I just didn't watch a very good football team tonight. I didn't watch a very good... I didn't watch a new and improved Arizona. Better, yeah. For sure. Conference contender? No. No, they're going to go on the road against Iowa State and lose by double digits. And you know what's great? The best part of this whole thing? I'm going to win a lot of money off that because Vegas is going to be like, oh, Arizona State's good now. This is going to be a competition, a contest. And it's not. From jump. Outgunned, outmanned, outthought, outcared from jump. You want to know the craziest part? And I hope that you can, like, I'm mad because I really like Kansas State. I remember what it was like to be a Baylor fan the year that all of the players came back and they were picked number one preseason in the Big 12 and ended up going 6-7, losing to Air Force in the, there's commonality, losing to a military school, losing to Air Force in the Armed Forces Bowl, and it was negative 17 degrees, the wind chill of negative 32. I remember how frustrating that was. And that's why for me, it's like, wow, I look at what Kansas State has and I don't want that for me. And it makes me sad, like death penalty them. And what's more is, if I may, sorry, Arizona fans again, the atmosphere wasn't that good. And it's not even the fans' fault, primarily. It was so bad that during the big, long replay, we would have, whoa. You want to keep your crowd into it, right? Enter Santa, doom, 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 something. They're playing Hurt So Good and Hungry Like the Wolf. I remember when I was a piss-drunk 20-year-old, 21-year-old. I remember when I was a piss-drunk 21-year-old at a college football game. And when Mo Bamba came on, I was like, damn, yeah. Let's do the Mo Bamba thing. And I went my swag. You know? They're playing Hungry Like the Wolf. Don't go breaking my heart. You can't win in that? You just lost to that? How? How couldn't if I try? It's Elton John and Olivia Newton-John. I think, right? Olivia Newton-John, maybe not. And you got to fire somebody. You've got to leave somebody on the tarmac. Teams have up and down years. No, not like this. Not like this, man. This is not how it goes. It's not how it happens. Chris Klieman's up there at Big 12 Media Days. Well, you know how many teams would consider themselves lucky to win 8 games every year? It's very hard to win 8 games. How easy is it to lose 8 games? You're about to do it. Arizona beat you. If not for Jace Brown, this would have been, you would have had like 30 yards total. Arizona had more turnovers, more penalties. They tried to let you win. On like a few different occasions, they tried to let you win. Oh. I'll end it on this. It may seem harsh, the things that I'm saying. I'm a podcast host. I make my money. I make my living as a podcast host. I bought a house in February. Like because I do a decent job, because I do well at my job, I get to keep my job. And I get paid. It's a job. If next week no one watches the show, if for 3 straight weeks, for 3 out of 4 weeks now, no one watches the show, and it's terrible. I don't post it, and I'm just slurring my words, and it's bad content, and no one cares, no one watches it, I get fired. Oh, he's so insensitive. You just don't get what coaches have to go through. I get fired. You're a CPA. You screw up someone's taxes. You get fired. I'm not saying Chris Klieman has to go. Matt Wells does, though, for sure. Today's show is brought to you by Prize Picks. Prize Picks is exactly where I go when I'm happy, good, happy, fun time. It makes me happy. I made a lot of money. I actually had money on Arizona tonight. Yeah, because I knew it would happen, and it did. I was smart. This episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. You and I make decisions every day. On Prize Picks, being right means cashing in. Football's back. You say more or less on 2 to 6 player projections, and You can turn that into real prizes in less than 60 seconds. Been playing Prize Picks lately. It's a very fun way to stay locked in for the season, quick and easy. My favorite way to follow along with football. Now, download the Prize Picks app. Use code LOCKEDONCollege. Get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code LOCKEDONCollege for $50 in lineups after your first $5 play. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. Today's show is also brought to you by, yeah, you know, FanDuel. That's where I won all the money on Arizona. Scratch them cats, or whatever they say. FanDuel's great, dude. NFL season's here. College football's here. FanDuel's making sure you're ready for kickoff with a can't-miss offer. Right now, new customers can bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets if your first bet wins to use across the app. I love it because it fits however you like to bet. Player props, building a same-game parlay, or even jumping in live as the action unfolds. It makes every game more exciting, whether you're watching your team or just keeping an eye on the fantasy lineup. So are you ready? Download the FanDuel app now by visiting FanDuel.com to get started. It's FanDuel.com to place your first $5 bet. FanDuel.com, place your first $5 bet now. This has been and always will be Locked On. Thanks for making it your first listen every single day. Dose Grande.